Hey, let's got here, and it's time to talk about Blue Lock, and I mean Dandadan, with Evil Eye being here, and the episode and the show actually turned into Blue Lock towards the end there, and I have to say, Evil Eye looks cool as fuck. I'm gonna have a hot take here. I like his transformation more than Okarun's in Turbo Granny. Now, I don't know which one is stronger and so on. The cliffhanger is insane how it ends right here, Okarun versus Gigi next week. But so far, this episode is also leaning into the tragedy and the emotional damage that we have right now. I really hate that family, the Kito family, the ones that keep sacrificing people to the volcano. Just characters like this are my weakness. When you see an innocent character just simply wanting things we take for granted, hurts me quite a lot. Same way that happened in episode 7 back here. But yeah, this episode definitely turned it up quite high, so let's get into it and talk about it. Instantly picks up from last week. We see Okarun kind of going wild, lunging at Gigi. But here, he kind of reverts it. He wants to hurt himself, and both him and Momo want to do the same thing, to kill themselves. The worm has that psychic wave that makes you want to kill yourself. That's why. And that sound is so ominous. There, the way it, every time you heard that song, it just amplify the atmosphere, the feeling quite a lot more here. And Gigi has to do anything and everything to try to keep them safe, even saving them from hanging, from stabbing. Momo almost stabs herself, but the Turbo Granny is there, stops it inadvertently here, and I like that reaction here. But while he was trying to keep them safe, all over the place, running, trying to stay alive himself also, this creepy bozo shows up, goes in front of the worm and starts blocking the suicide wave here. And this is Evil Eye. And we see throughout the episode, Turbo Granny kept warning them, don't trust him, Evil Eye, Evil Eye. Keeps making people kill themselves, don't trust it. They both have the same power, so they're canceling each other out. And when that worm is able to regenerate also, Okarun slammed it when he was finally able to regain consciousness, decapitated instantly, but he regenerated instantly back here. And this is slowly where you get the backstory, the history of Evil Eye kind of giving Gigi a vision here. We see kids in the past playing in the fields, but then the camera pans in and we see Evil Eye when he was human, a kid in a cage, looking on the outside, just wanting to spend time with kids, isolated, starving, and in the end turns out to be a sacrifice for the volcano. And he just had one wish to play with others. And this is how he got turned into a spirit. And now he kind of has the same power of making people killing themselves. And throughout history, he kept being there in those houses. And I have a feeling they kind of used him for this, to kill the parents of kids. And then the kids got turned themselves into sacrifices. I really hate that family so much, like so much there. And he tried to protect the kids, but also, of course, himself doing that, going through that, he's not gonna be, and you probably didn't have social cues, and who knows what happens when you turn into a spirit, how much of you is left over. But even if fully left over, consciousness, memories, everything, considering how he was treated as a kid, no love, no spending time with others, probably gonna have a lot of issues. And then we see it even more throughout this episode here. And fuck the Kito family again. And Evil Eye throughout history being like that. And then Gigi, after seeing that vision, was almost taken over and says that Evil Eye is not actually evil, even though Turbo Granny kept warning them. And I'm like, okay, there has to be something more to this, because while I get it's very tragic what happened to that kid being sacrificed, tormented, and so on, he still killed so many people, and it's in the name, right? Evil Eye there. And Gigi goes for Evil Eye to take him to his own body to release him because you're still underneath. Like those houses that we saw, the reason why there are so many houses, because they kept building on top of each other throughout history. More sacrifices here. And while they're doing that, the worm starts attacking and it's able to vomit out some sticky glue. I have no idea what that was. Kind of catches them there and also has a paralysis attack in a way. And Gigi gets infected with those vines from Evil Eye and gets more visions and starts taking the side a bit of Evil Eye. Feels guilty, saying, I've hated you, it wasn't your fault. Of course, feels pity. Who wouldn't feel pity? If you have any empathy and sympathy in you, you can feel some pity for through what Evil Eye went through there, and saying he just wants to play one time. But Gigi kind of goes overboard with that energy that he has. I'm like, you kind of said it a bit too much, you overpromised, and in a way kind of gave consent, saying one lifetime isn't enough, I'm gonna play with you forever, paraphrasing a bit. And then you hear, you finally said it, he finally said the thing there, and this is where Gigi gets taken over, and meanwhile also the worm was attacking, and goddamn the transformation looks cool as fuck. And the power here, Gigi, or Evil Eye in Gigi's body starts attacking him and saying it's time to murder all humans. And kind of see, this is why it's fucked up. Like no matter how much tragedy was in the past, a normal person wasn't gonna come out at the end of that. So of course has a insane rage and hatred for humans. I have a feeling it's probably gonna turn a bit comedic later on when they resolve this case, kind of like how Turbo Granny is right now. I'm curious how that dynamic is gonna be there when Evil Eye has to be with Gigi, because I feel like they're gonna stay together with this too big of a connection between them here. I don't know how it's going to happen, but I'm really curious how Evil Eye is gonna be expanded a bit more. But right now, he's the bad guy in this arc here. Even starts attacking Momo. She's barely able to protect herself, and he's able to also make barriers to prevent the attacks of the worm. He's able to make a ball of energy out of all of the grudge of the people that live there. And this is where the episode starts being Blue Lock. I'm like, damn, imagine if Blue Lock had this animation here throughout everything that happened, and the hype, the music, and so on, and start going wild on the worm here. And this is where we get a bit more context why Seiko kept calling him genius. I just thought he was praising her so much, he was a bit playful, but apparently he has a lot of potential, both physical power. You see how ripped he is throughout the episode. Unlike me, I'm a fat guy and he looks so good, but then also actually has spiritual power, a lot of it, so he's the complete package. And even Turbo Granny is a bit jealous that she couldn't take him over, and that's why Evil Eye wanted him as a vessel. And Momo, when she gets attacked again, blocks the ball of energy but can't block the punch that comes right after. I really like how it fights, a lot of dynamic combat style here. And before Evil Eye is able to finish Momo off, Okaran steps in, and we have the classic leg lock showdown, and the cliffhanger happens. And I'm like, fuck, we're gonna need to wait until next week. So yeah, fun episode here. I'm really liking Evil Eye quite a lot. I'm curious how it's gonna be after they resolve this. I really hope he's gonna stick around. That's the feeling I'm getting. Don't go into spoilers. I haven't read the manga. I'm just going by the anime here, but fun and tragic also at the same time, which I feel like this is kind of Dandadan in a way, kind of balancing those sides of the same coin, the comedy and tragedy at the same time. So yeah, let me know in the comments below what you guys thought about the episode, and as always, thank you very much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, helps me quite a lot, and you guys get the latest videos on the series that I follow. So keep enjoying Dandadan. I'm gonna see you again on the next one. And Evil Eye looks cool as fuck. Bye.